Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. We're going to finish out this 30 teams in 30 days with the AL East, starting on day 26 with the Boston Red Sox. They were 5th in the AL East with a record of 78 and 84. That means the Yankees are better than you. They also had a -4 run differential, and the category leaders for the offensive side were pretty spread out. Rafael Devers led in the most categories, including at-bats, runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, and total bases. Alex Verdugo led the team in doubles and triples. He is a new Yankee. While Tristan Casas led the team in walks, on-base percentage, and on-base plus slugging. Connor Wong led the team in strikeouts, while Duran Duran led the team in stolen bases and average, and Adam Duvall, before injury, led the team in slugging. The new guys for this team, whether it be rookies or just first year with the team, really did their part to make sure the Red Sox weren't terrible. However, it wasn't enough to overcome a sub-500 record. Justin Turner had 23 home runs, 96 RBIs, threw in 4 stolen bases, and had a .276 average. Masataka Yoshida had a 15 home run, 72 RBI, 8 stolen base, and .289 season, while Duran Duran had 24 stolen bases. Adam Duvall, before injury, was throwing in 21 home runs and 58 RBIs. Now, they all did their part. They couldn't do everything for the team, and the team relied very heavily on Rafael Devers. There are a few weak spots in this offense. We will get to it, but those 4 guys did their part to make sure that the team was in a position to win. Someone else who did their part was Tristan Casas. We talked about him as one of the leaders. However, he started very slow. Ended very wisely, especially for those that were patient, and will only continue to develop. In his 3rd year in 2024, he will have to improve his first base skills defensively. He doesn't have much competition from Bobby Dahlback. However, a slump at the plate or another slow start and poor defensive mechanics could open the door for Dahlback. Now, we talked about Yoshida. However, he was highly touted coming from overseas, and he showed glimpses of what he can do, but will only continue to develop, hopefully, in that Red Sox organization. Now, as a Yankees fan, I hope he just stays average and doesn't do too great, because obviously, going against the Yankees, I don't like him doing well. Talking about the newest acquisition for the Yankees previously, Alex Verdugo, he was with the Red Sox for 4 years and improved in counting stats in every year he was there. I'm going to be very happy to see him patrolling the outfield for us and no longer hitting home runs and just making us look bad as a Yankees team. Now, someone who did not do as well was Trevor Story. He did miss a lot of time with injury, and when he did come back, he was barely hitting over 200. He did steal 10 bases in only 40-plus games, but he's definitely going to have to improve. There's very little competition at this point in time as he is the starting shortstop, but life comes at you fast. So do prospects, and so does the option for the manager to say, hey man, you're not getting it done for us. We need to try someone else. Talking about trying someone else, the Red Sox tried a few different guys as openers, secondary starters, and it worked out well for them in some cases. Others, not really, and they're going to have to look elsewhere because they lost some arms. But let's get to the stat leaders. It was Brian Bello who led the team in games started, quality starts, wins, losses, and innings pitched. He had 157 innings pitched. That's not the highest number you want to see, or you don't want that to be the highest number of innings pitched. Nick Pivetta led the team in strikeouts, no surprise there, and Cutter Crawford actually led the team in ERA and WHIP. The holds went to Chris Martin and the saves went to Kenley Jansen. So as we talked about, the opener, secondary starter is very good for Nick Pivetta. He benefited from it. He only threw 140 plus innings, but had 180 plus strikeouts. He is going to be slated as a starter this year. I don't know how well that's going to do for him because he started 16 games last year. He appeared in 38. So the ability to throw hitters off from a starter or an opener and then bring him in, I think he is going to be little subpar. He's going to get you strikeouts, but I don't know if he's going to be as good as he was last year. He did have a 4+ ERA in those 16 starts, but he did have a 1.1 whip, so that gives a little assurance. Another guy who finds himself in the rotation going into 2024 is Cutter Crawford. From 2022 to 2023, he doubled his starts, doubled his wins, cut his ERA and his whip, added almost 60 innings pitched and almost 60 strikeouts. He is going to need to see that develop even more because the bullpen was very taxed in 2023. Another guy who finds himself in the rotation for 2024 is Cutter Crawford. He doubled his wins, doubled his game started, improved his innings pitched by almost 60, as well as his strikes by almost 60. He also improved his ERA and improved his whip, so he is going to continue that improvement or need to in order for that bullpen not to be as taxed this upcoming year. Tanner Houck also finds himself in the rotation and is going to have to improve on that 5+ ERA from 2023. He also will have to go deeper into games, as in 21 starts, he only had 5 quality starts. Speaking of that bullpen, they do have everyone, or most everyone, coming back. John Schreiber is going somewhere else. However, they are pretty strong. Kenley Jansen is getting a little older. They're going to have to monitor him, as he did miss time with a heart condition last year. The bullpen was very taxed last year, and they're going to have to look for their starters to go deeper into games. As a team, there were only 47 quality starts in all 162 games last year. And there were guys in the bullpen who had 40, 50, 60 plus innings pitched. There were only 3 guys in the rotation that pitched 129 or more innings. That's not good. The young guys are going to have to pitch deeper into games. They're going to have to induce more ground balls. They're going to have to get those fly balls. And hopefully those cans of corns don't fly over that green monster. Now, talking about the arrivals and departures of the bullpen and of the arms in the rotation, the arrivals did nothing to help them. There were only 3 main ones. There were some, minor leaguers. There were some that have been optioned down. But CJ Cron at first. It's already a crowded position. Tyler O'Neill in the outfield, who's hurt a lot. And finally, Vaughn Grissom, who is already hurt, but may very well be the person to take over shortstop from Trevor Story once he gets healthy again. Now the departures. This is where the big names come into play. Justin Turner, that's 96 RBIs you have to account for from last year. Alex Verdugo, that's another 20+ home runs and just great play in the outfield. You do also lose Lucas Giolito for the year, not because he was traded, but because he's having surgery and is done. 2 more arms. We talked about Schreiber and also Chris Sale. Despite not being his top-notch self like he was in Chicago, Chris Sale was still definitely a great guy, not only for cutting up jerseys, but in a subpar rotation. Let's see if he is going to be another dark horse Cy Young winner, or Cy Young candidate at least, for that Atlanta Braves team. Overall, I'm glad the Red Sox were bad. Overall, I hope they continue to be bad, and I hope that only the players that I have do well for them. Tomorrow, we're going to go to day 27, one of my favorite numbers, as we talk about the best team in all of baseball. Looking forward to talking about my Yankees, and I will absolutely be super excited. So I hope you're excited too. This is Jake Cake. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.